Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. I'm Millie. We got a few minutes, so hopefully nobody's here yet. And we'll start sharing. Bear with me. We got a few minutes. We don't start till 2 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and share this now. And feel free to do the same. Just going to share this to a couple of groups and then we'll be ready. Hey, good morning. Well, good afternoon. Feels like morning for me. Did y'all have a good weekend? I had a long weekend, had an extra day off, kinda. So yeah. Options, bear with me. I'm just sharing to a couple of groups. I hope y'all brought y'all questions because today is just going to be a question and answer session. And when we run out of questions, we'll run out of time, or when 3 o'clock hits, whichever happens first. So we're just going to be going ahead and answering questions live. So as you post them, I'll answer them. A couple of things I do want to make you guys aware of is it's coming up on tax time, which means you're going to start getting offers for debt collections. Make sure you go back and watch the videos about debt collecting and how to pay your debts off and things of that nature. But go ahead and start posting your credit questions. I'm going to get started promptly at 2 o'clock. Make sure that you're sharing this as well. We want to get this information out to as many people as we possibly can. So we're doing that. We're still having issues, so I have not figured out how to go live on Instagram, but we are on YouTube. So, yeah, you can always go over to Credit One USA's YouTube video, YouTube page to see all the information there as well. So, I got a couple minutes, and I'm just sharing away here, and hopefully we'll get this thing all figured out and have some fun. So yay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, all of that stuff. It's been a long Monday, Tuesday here. So I don't know if y'all have this, but after we come back from a holiday, we normally have like both days combined. I did work from home yesterday, but I didn't take a single phone call, which was so beautiful. It was absolutely wonderful. And so, yeah, I'm loving that part. I did not miss talking on the phone. But definitely, so we got 3 minutes, and Miss Latasha, your question will be the very, very first question that I answer. But if y'all have credit questions, please definitely go ahead and post them now. Today's talking to is going to be literally just answering questions. So I'm super excited about that because I like answering questions. Hello, Mr. Drayton. How are you today? Pleasure seeing you this Tuesday. Y'all ever have a day off and need a day off to recover from your day off? Just me? Okay. Yeah, I need an extra day to recover from my days off because I just be doing the most. Like, I don't have nothing else to do. We got about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to start with Miss Latasha's question, and we're going to go from there. So if y'all have credit questions, go ahead and post them there. I'm about finished with what I'm posting. So I like it when it's easy. I'm well, and yourself, Michael? I am skipping over your question, Miss Latasha, not because I didn't see it, but because I want to make that the first question when we start. So yeah. Make sure you guys are sharing this so that as many people as can get the information. I don't know everybody you know, so the more people you tell, the better it is for us. So let's do that. All right. Okay. So I think I shared this on my page. Hopefully. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. So it is officially 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, and I am Millie here with Credit One USA. And welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. So every Tuesday is part of our 750 Score Challenge. We go live from 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Times to talk about various credit topics, as well as answer some of your most pressing questions with regarding credit. So here we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into today's questions because I love that part. So the very first question we got from Miss Latasha, and she said, okay, my question is, I need to build credit, and the only derogatory thing I have is medical bills. So when you have accounts like that, the very first thing I would say is, are they with a hospital or are they like the doctor bills? So if you're in the Huntsville area and you go to Huntsville Hospital, you're going to get a bill from Huntsville Hospital, but you're also going to get one from the Physicians Network. That's the ER, actual ER doctor. And then you'll get another one from like radiology, if you had to get some lab work or some things like that. So you may end up with like 3 or 4 different bills. So there's 2 different things that you want to do. If this is the bill from the actual hospital, Huntsville Hospital has what they call financial assistance, which allows them to assist you with paying the bill. It's not the same as their payment plan. This actually wipes out some up to all of the debt. Crestwood calls theirs Charity Care, and hospitals around the country have this. So you just got to find out what the name of it is. If it's a hospital bill, I suggest doing that. Now, if it's a bill with the doctor's office, they too usually have some level of financial assistance. So I would suggest contacting them and seeing that. Now, if it's already appeared on your credit report, you can still qualify for these offers and things of that nature. You just want to make sure, as part of your settlement and repayment of this debt, after you validated and did all of those proper steps to make sure it's your bill, that it hadn't gotten paid and the amount is correct and they're not charging anything wrong, the next thing that you want to do is you want to actually settle the debt, but get them to agree to remove the account. Not update the account to pay, not update the account to paid as full, because it is a collection account. It doesn't really look good as a paid collection. It looks better than an unpaid collection, but not as good as if the debt was just really removed. So you want to try to get it removed, and they can agree to this. So don't let them tell you they can't do that. So to answer your question, that's what you want to do prior to building credit, because I've seen people with like $15 collection accounts on your credit report, and I'm gonna just be honest and say it how they would say it, y'all, because y'all know I'm a straight shooter. So really quickly, they're going to say to you, you can't figure out this $15 bill, but you want me to give you a $200,000 house. Make it make sense, because it don't. So again, part of that question was, should I dispute them, pay them? The highest bill is this. Well, number one, look for some type of settlement offer. You may be able to qualify for financial assistance or something like that. And boom, that actually takes care of the debt. And then you do this. I always start with verifying and validating the debt. So before I get into paying anybody, I make sure that this debt belongs to me. If you need information on that, you can go back and look at one of my old videos. I've done a few of them on how to properly settle that and deal with that. So there's that part. Michael said, hi. So Miss Keisha, let's get into it. She says, once again, I only have medical bills on my credit report. I have paid a few and disputed a few, and they were removed. So, should I pay all of them in full? I am trying to buy a house. Same thing as before. So, here's the thing, even though a debt is removed from your credit report, that does not mean you don't have to pay it. So, let's get into this really quickly. There's two things, there's the reporting side and there's the owing side. And we want to make sure that we're being fair and setting ourselves up for the future. So the reporting side said, oops, you messed up, you did something wrong. So they can't report this debt anymore. So they have to remove it for whatever reason. That does not mean you didn't owe the debt necessarily. Now, if it was reported wrong and the balance is incorrect, or find out why was it removed, not just that it's not on your credit. Why did this happen? Because if this happened because the debt happened to be sold at the time you challenged, it might pop back up with the new person, and you don't want it to pop back up. So you want to make sure you do that. You probably want to settle the debt. If it's valid, it belongs to you, and you got all of that stuff, you want to go ahead and try to settle it and get it put behind you, because it can turn into a lawsuit. And if you're here around Huntsville Hospital is snatching people's state taxes and suing you, and so is Crestwood. So go ahead and take care of this before it goes to the next level, even if it has already been removed. Now there is the statute of limitations and all of that, so you want to make sure this is a collectible debt. If it's 15 years old, probably wouldn't pay that. But especially if they're trying to sue you. And if that's the case, you may have legal recourse and you may need to contact the consumer protections attorney. So there's that. This is a question I get all of the time, Miss Sherry. I am so glad you asked this. Yay! She said, which of the credit bureaus does creditors typically pull from? Equifax shows that I have a 756, but Experian shows I have a 670. Now, my first question for you is, what are you applying for? The reason I say that is because different creditors pull from different places for different things. Also, with your credit score being so all over the map, I would want to know, what scores are you looking at? So here's the thing. Let's go back and talk about the pulling. I'll put that back up there. So which one do they pull from? It depends on what you're getting. They can pull from one, two, or all three credit reports. But even in that, there are literally 28 different credit scores. So it depends on what you're doing. So if you're trying to get a house, they'll pull all three of your schools. They'll pull your Equifax, your Experian, and your TransUnion. They'll pull Equifax version, what is it? Experian version 2, Equifax 4, and TransUnion 5, I think it is. I might mess that up. Give me just a second. I'm going to tell y'all. Because the one thing that I never like to do is actually have to guess. Sign in. This is one of my favorite little pictures, and I keep it up all the time. So, there it is. Download. Now, I'm going to see if I can share this picture with you guys. Hopefully, you can see it. Settings. How do I upload a picture? Yeah, I'm going to try to do this. While I'm here, I'm going to try to upload this picture in just a second. Anyway, so the thing is, because there are 28 different credit scores, okay, let's try Shift F7. Did that do anything? No? Okay. Who knows? I'm going to work with it, and hopefully before the end of the broadcast, I'll be able to show you all 28 different FICO scores, so you guys can see where it is. Edit. No. Share. It might let me share. I guess I have to save this as a slide. Anybody know how to save a picture as a slide? Copy. That looks funny. Oh, let's try this. Insert. Okay, guys, I'm going to work with this a little bit more. And hopefully we can make this thing look pretty enough that you guys can see. Anywho, so because they use the different versions of it, I'm sorry, y'all, I get distracted easily. Because they use the different versions of it, that's how they kind of determine where it is. So, ha 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 ha. It's uploading now, finally, y'all. I be trying. When it gets uploaded, I'll show you the 28 different FICO scores. And with that, you guys will be able to see how they will pull from 1, 2, or 3 of these sources. And when they pull from that, that kind of determines that. So on my screen, you'll see FICO. It'll say auto score 8, auto score 2, auto score 8, auto score 5, auto score 8, auto score 4, FICO score 8, FICO score 8. And so for each of the credit bureaus that you see listed, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, there are these multiple scores that you can get. So you see all of these, it adds up to 28 different scores. So when somebody says, I have a score, I'm always curious as to which of these FICO scores did they have, or are they looking at something like Credit Karma or something like that? And that's going to also help determine where your scoring comes from. Because if you like apply for something from Redstone Credit Union, Redstone Federal Credit Union here, they use Experian version 9 for most things, unless you're talking about a mortgage. And then they use Experian version 2, Equifax version 5, and TransUnion 4. I got those two mixed up. So that's where the different scores come from. So you kind of got to make sure you're looking at the right score in order to get the results that you want. So somebody said, the next question was, how can I start to do credit repair? Are you saying you want to become a credit repair agent like I am? Or are you saying you want to get your own credit repair done? Because if you want to get service with us, you just go to our website, sign up, or you can do it online. Now, if you want to start your own company, you kind of, I would advise first being trained on how credit repair works. Currently, we are waitlisted. We're supposed to be starting some classes later this year. We're currently not doing that right now. But you'll want to do that, get some certifications, learn about the financial education, literacy, and things of that nature to do that. So yeah. So the next question from Christopher. Mr. Thompson says, what if there's something on your credit report that has a zero balance because it's paid off and it shows you paid it off, but it isn't removed after multiple attempts through various methods? Sorry for that running sentence. I could tell he was probably in either Miss Battle or Miss King's class. It's an English thing. She would get us for long sentences. And all it took was like 3 marks and you would lose your grade. So anyway, so here's the thing. Is it accurate? The first question is it accurate? I understand paying off a debt, but paying off a debt does not mean they're no longer supposed to report the information. Paying off a debt simply means that you paid it off. The history, is the history right? Is the status right? Did they agree to remove it? And if so, do you have something that says that in writing? So there are so many steps that goes in that. A lot of times, and that's a misconception that people believe is, oh, I paid it off, so it'll be removed. No, it can show for up to 7 years from the date of first delinquency in which the account was not brought back current. If it's a positive account, it gets to report for 10 years from date of last activity. So even though this account may have been paid off in 2017 and it went negative in 2016, it gets to stay on there till 2023 unless you negotiate it and have something that proves that they're supposed to remove it. So paying the debt isn't the only qualification for it coming off of your credit report. So that's a really, really important thing. Hey, Angela, how you doing, love? Somebody asked, does it help to boost your score through Experian? No, not really. Experian Boost program, if you read in there, it says it's only good for versions 8 or newer. Now, if you remember the picture I posted, and I'll show it to you again, this FICO score, you see there's a whole bunch of them that doesn't include 8. So you got version 3, version 2, version 5, version 4, version 4, 4, 4, 5. Even mortgages don't include version 8 or newer. So if you're trying to boost your score to qualify for a house, well, when they go to pull your mortgage scores, they're not going to use that boost. So you just gave away your information for no apparent reason. So we're going to take that off of there. So I don't do it. And then there's this thing in there. It's this little paragraph that just kind of is totally off-putting to me. It says if something happens and your credit is affected because of something that they know or should have known was going to hurt you, they're not liable for it. And it also includes any accounts that you may have with your minor children. So like if you connected your Redstone account and you got children and they have Redstone accounts and something happens and your kid's credit is impacted because Experian Boost program had a Trojan in there that they knew about and it was stealing people's information, that they're not responsible. And I got a problem with that. Like, if you mess up my credit or my kid's credit, you're going to need to take some responsibility for that. But, that's the mommy in me. I think, I believe in responsibility and accountability, and it just doesn't quite seem fair. So, nah, bro, I'm not with that. Now, somebody said, is there such a thing as perch? I'm going to need more information about what you mean by perch. There's a company called Perch, according to LinkedIn. It's a marketing platform, and I don't really know much about that other than to Google it. I got nothing else for that. Is there such thing as purchasing trade lines? She got cut off the first time. Okay, here we go. Purchasing trade lines to improve your credit. So, Angela, you be asking them tough questions. And I'm finna step on a lot of toes with this answer. So there's 2 ways of doing this. There's the legal way and there's the illegal way. Now, the legal way is called an authorized user. And that's where a friend, family, relative, or I guess for a fee, someone adds you to their revolving account, and it gives you the history of that account. There's a lot of companies that do that. There's the illegal way where people do the same thing, but instead of you being an authorized user, they make you the primary, as if to say you had this furniture company for the last 4 years and you've been paying this furniture company $50 a month and you're wonderful. The illegal way can get y'all sent to jail. And in fact, I know of some people who have, went and sat down because they chose to do that. I don't recommend doing that. I think that there are legal ways to boost your credit, and I wouldn't really want to go to jail. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I like most of y'all out there. There's a few that I could give up on, and I'm just going to be honest with you because that's me. But for the most part, I like most of you guys. I, in fact, love you guys. And I, beyond a shadow of a doubt, love what I do. But I'm not willing to risk handcuffs, let alone jail time. So there's nothing that I'm going to do that's going to be walking the line towards illegal because I don't like y'all that much. None of y'all. Like, not even my mama do I like enough to put some cold steel on my hands. It just ain't that deep for me. And I don't think you should do it either. So that's my tea and my position on that. But companies do sell it. And if you're willing to do it, I'm not. So, yes, there is such a thing. No, it's not necessarily legal. And I don't do that part because I'm not going to jail. So what she's talking about is purchasing trade lines. And yes, they do it and they sell it all over the internet. I'm a snitch, guys. I'm going to be honest. Let me just tell y'all, let's go and get this out the way real quick. It was Bobby, Billy, and Bo. They did it at 3:45. I'll show you the color of their car if you want to make it right up here. Because I ain't going to jail. Like, nah, not at all. I got none of that in me. All of that talk, that whole I'm from the yak town, don't back down until you bring out them handcuffs. And then I sing like a bird. I ain't even got a good voice, but I promise you I'll sing. So that's my truth about that. So Latasha, you came back and said it's a closed down hospital and they have been out of business for 8 or 9 years. They removed once. Latasha, inbox me because that actually sounds like a Fair Debt Collections Practices Act violation. And if it's a violation of your consumer laws, you might actually be entitled to legal recourse because the debt collector known or should have known that this debt was no longer collectible. So I definitely want to hear more about that. Hey, Jay, I know you called me yesterday. You came in a little late. You missed out from me saying I wasn't taking no calls yesterday. I was off work and I was enjoying not talking to people. So, yeah, there's that. Michael Drayton trying to make me happy. That Michael said I'm finna wipe out a lot of our debt. So go ahead and get my 750 shirt ready. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Now, y'all know there are 2 ways you can get a 750 credit score shirt. One, you can buy them. And if you want information on that, head over to our website, click the link, and it'll walk you through how to buy it. The other way is you can do it the old-fashioned, hard-earned way and earn you that 750. I need to see Equifax, Experian, the TransUnions, FICO score at 750 or better, and you can get you one of these lovely shirts. And I'll be happy when I see y'all wearing them because it means you bought it and you believe in the mission, or you earned it and you definitely believe in the mission and support it. And that's what this thing is about. Y'all trying to make me happy with these comments. Look at he gonna get his shirt. He gonna get his shirt. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the stuff that like really, really, really makes me happy though. Okay. Mr. Christopher came back with another good one for me. Says, do credit card companies deny you based upon the amount of capital you have coming in? As a sole proprietor, business owner, and an employee for a company, I've noticed when I apply for certain cards, I'm denied due to income. Most of my income is from business, and it seems like they only value my income from my employer and not my business, despite me having proof of business income tax. I'd like to see those denial letters because very rarely do they deny you for that unless you're talking more of business credit. Once you start getting into business credit, they want a lot of stuff for it. The other thing is, yeah, to a degree, your income matters. I ain't trying to be funny, but why am I going to let you borrow $50,000, $100,000 and you make $10 a year? I know that sounds harsh, and me and Christopher got that kind of relationship, so he know what it is. He know I'm not trying to read him. I know he make good money. But what I'm saying is lenders want to get their money back. This is a thing. The whole thing isn't, hey, how much debt can I put out there? It is the collectability. I want to know I can get this back. And the higher your credit score, the less risk you are. However, it's a big factor, but that's only part of the equation. The other part of the equation is, can you afford this thing? I ain't trying to be funny. I have amazing credit. I work really hard and I kind of do this for a living. So I would be kind of messed up if I didn't have good credit. I can't afford a $10,000 a month bill. So if I say, yeah, God, why don't you let me get $1 million? And they're like, well, the repayment is $10,000 a month. They're going to deny me because I'm not giving them $10,000. They're like, she's not going to pay this. So, nah. So that is a factor that goes into it. So my question is, what type of card are you applying for? And what did they say? Because what they may be looking at is your debt to income, which means you probably have a lot of stuff and your numbers ain't quite adding up. And normally once you get above about 35-40% of your income in debt, you're looking kind of risky. Even though the numbers don't say that yet, you're looking real risky. So yeah. That may be it. So let's look at that. Now, my next question. Mr. Drayton says, does mortgage inquiries affect your credit? Every inquiry affects your credit. Now, there is this thing called a shopper's window. Now, what a shopper's window is a limited amount of time, which varies between mortgages and cars. That's why I'm not going to tell y'all exactly the amount because it varies. And in that time frame, this is where you get to kind of shop. That's why it's called a shopper's window. And so you can say, okay, let me see what Quicken Loans is getting me versus Hometown in terms of my rate. And during that shopper's window, those multiple inquiries count as one. But it's only a very narrow window. This ain't like a 2-year window. And so, but they still count. So if you got 4 of the inquiries and then you go do this, it's going to count. Even though it's 3, it still counts as 1, but it counts. And it counts for 25 months is how long it stays there. So yes, those count. Y'all, I'm loving this whole sharing. That's what I'm talking about. When I give y'all that good information, I want y'all to share it with as many people as you can. Other people need to know about this thing. So what's that? Somebody says, how do I deal with a closed account paid off because the creditor closed the account? I think I did an inquiry, but it didn't change my scores. If you haven't applied for a lot of credit, then you won't do that. If the account is closed and paid off, you just kind of let it ride out. It'll go away after about 10 years if it was positive in that. Now, somebody says, student loans not past due but current. Does it affect you getting a mortgage? Absolutely. Student loans impact your debt to income. So even if they're not negative, which can impact your score, they count against your debt to income. And so what they're going to look at is the repayment plan that you're in. Now, I know because of COVID, they keep kicking this can down there, but you need to have some type of repayment plan on file because they're not going to go with 0 forever. And they have to be able to calculate how much they think. Now, back in the day, it used to be 1%. So if you owed $120,000, they were saying, what's that, $120? That don't seem right. Maybe it is. I don't know. My math is off today, guys. Don't look at my numbers. That's what calculators are for. They were saying like 1% or that. I think they've reduced it to like 0.5%. But if you're in like an income-based repayment option and it has you at like $2 a month, if you have that and you have proof of that, they'll accept that $2 a month, especially if it's reported on your credit report. So there's that question. But I got a mortgage guy. So if you really want to know that for certain, just send me an inbox to Credit One USA and I'll get you in touch with my mortgage guy and he'll give you the details. So yeah, that's where he's amazing at instead of me. Matter of fact. Hey, are you anywhere in the area? I got a mortgage question for you. Or you could just jump on my live and answer Miss Benita Thomas's question, and that would make me really happy. So, see, I told you, I got people for that. Listen, guys, I will be honest about you. One of the things that I love and that we do here at Credit One USA is we actually have affiliates. So there are people that we work with, and those people, they're experts in their field. I got a couple of mortgage guys. I got I got mortgage guys, I got real estate people, I got tax people, I got car people, I got hotel people, I got people for whatever you do. Because I fix credit and I do credit education and I do that. And that is it. That's all that our business does. We're not going to help you file your taxes. That ain't my lane. I'm not going to help you find a house. That's not my lane. I'm not going to refinance your mortgage. I don't do that either. But I got a guy for you. Now, when I say guy, I'm using that as a gender neutral term. So I got a guy slash gal. Gal just seems really weird to me. So I just say I got a guy. And I mean, you should always have a guy. Okay, JJ, I think I just answered your question. Let's just say she'll give me a call. Jay said, "Get my shirt ready." Ooh, we getting shirts. We getting shirts. Y'all know I love that part. Michael said, "I tried to tell someone that the way they were trying to buy trade lines was illegal, but now they need money on their books. Look at that. See, it ain't just me. I'm not going to jail, yo. Like, credit ain't that serious to me. Like, I could do other jobs and probably make more money and have less stress. But, I could do less stressful jobs way easier. So somebody says, how do you check your debt to income? How do you know the percentage to qualify for a mortgage? Mortgage people do that. I know it's usually like 30% or 40%, somewhere around that number. And basically it's really simple math. It is how much debt do you have, your monthly debt versus your monthly income. So if you bring in, and I'm gonna use a really low number, $100 a month, and you pay $2 in rent, that's 2% of your income. If you pay $3 on your car insurance, that's 3% of your monthly income. If you pay $5 in utilities, that's 5%. So 3 plus 2 plus that, now you're at 10% of your monthly income. And it adds kind of like that. So you add up your monthly bills, you add up your monthly income, and that's the number, pretty much. But again, I got a mortgage guy for that, and hopefully he'll come join us soon. And he can do that. But if you need more help on that, I can send him to you later. So we'll do that. Well, you need to bring them on every now and then. I did bring my mortgage guy on every now and then. He be busy though. He be out here, closing deals and stuff. Like, I don't know how the pandemic went for y'all, but my people be booked and busy. Like, I be like, hey, you gonna come in? It's like, I got a closing. Like, I just had a couple of people close last week. I be loving that part. Y'all, let me tell y'all, one of my favorite things that I do that I love is seeing people buy homes, refi sometimes for better rates, or first-time home buyers, first-time 750, small business growth. So you done got to prove for this loan and stuff like that. And all of this happens because of good credit. So I absolutely go wild, bananas, crazy for all of that stuff. So we'll do that. But I will reach out to my mortgage guy and see when I can get him to come back. I'm gonna try this year to have some real estate people on here too. But y'all be keeping me busy. Y'all booked and busy. So, just pray for me. Just pray for me. I think I went. You said when? I missed that one. Michael, it was with Ronald Rice from Hometown Mortgage. In fact, it had his whole little picture up and stuff. Like, was that last year? It might have been 2019. Y'all know that little thing got me kind of like out of it, because I do that. Let's see. I'll be trying to make sure I'm answering all y'all questions, because I have a couple of other groups, and sometimes when you share it in groups, you don't get it. All the comments don't show up here. So if you have more credit questions, we're literally just going live answering your questions. Just boom. As you get them, we're answering them to try to, help change lives and get some people to the goal of good credit. So let's go. Um, oh, Let me make sure I got all of my questions answered. I'm going to try to tag him. Y'all bear with me just a second. I'm going to try to tag him. My mortgage guy. It literally won't even let me get to the live. Y'all bear with me. Oh, let me switch. Let's see. Jay said, I'm still calling you after this live. Okay, Jay, I got like 2 meetings, but definitely do it. I got 3 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, and a 5 o'clock. So I'm going to try to work you in today, JJ. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow, boo. Yeah, so I just tagged him in this. So hopefully, look, y'all see, I literally just tagged him in there. So boom. Y'all see that? I tagged him. So that's my mortgage guy. He answers 90% of my mortgage questions. So hopefully he'll do that. She said, what would be the best time to contact you? The best way to get in touch with me through Credit One USA is to go to either Facebook and book an appointment, or call us after 3:30 because I'm doing a live right now. And so they're probably not going to answer. But you can either book an appointment through Facebook and we'll give you the next available slot. Even though you book a time, it may be taken by somebody else. But do that, and we can do it that way, or inbox Credit One USA, and then we'll offer you a time. We'll respond back to you with the text through Messenger and offer you a time slot. Y'all, whatever you do on the face of this earth, don't inbox Millie directly. I don't answer. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you up. By the time I leave work and I'm done with work, I normally give y'all 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. I literally work 6 days a week. I'm only supposed to work 5, but I actually put in a whole extra day to try to get this stuff done. By the time I'm done with that, I'm not checking my personal messenger for business stuff. That's just not how I roll. So I want to help you. I do. I want to help you. I want to answer your questions, and I want to do it in a timely manner. And that means contacting Credit One USA. You can contact them through Instagram. We respond to Instagram messages. We respond to Facebook messages. We respond to phone calls. You can even go to our website at www.creditoneseusa.com. It's scrolling across the screen. And you can do one of those contact us that way. So there's multiple ways to contact it. Inbox and mailing directly is not one of them. So make sure you use one that actually gets responded to and acknowledged. I just don't check that. Anybody who knows me knows, send me a message, text me, and if you text me, then I'll respond to you at some point. Millie Scott is trifling. Millie Gunn is really good with credit. Just know the difference. So yeah, there's that part. Jay said today, Millie. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? That's one of my other big sisters, kinda, and she be trying to be rough. So the best ways to reach us is our website at www.creditoneusa, or you can call 855-273-3663. Yeah. Do I respond to smoke signals? Not a firefighter. That's the best I got for that. I'm not a firefighter, so nah. I don't respond to smoke signals either. Like, pray for me, y'all. I'm working on being a better person, so it's a lot. LOL, you got jokes. Yeah, I do. Okay. Okay, y'all. So it is 2:40 my time, and I don't see any new questions. I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes. If y'all have credit questions, go ahead and answer them now. Ask them now, cause once it's gone, and she be done. Um, and once I'm done, y'all know I move on to the next of my 10 million things to do today. Because y'all know on any given Tuesday, I only have 17.4 million tasks. So thank you so much for your help. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to assist. Okay. Y'all bear with me for a minute. Somebody actually just set up an appointment online and they're already getting their information out. See, I be working while I be here. Y'all be thinking, okay. How do you feel about secure credit cards? Just a question that might help someone. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like secure credit cards at all. So being honest, so here's the thing. There is a reason why you're only qualifying for a secured credit card. And a lot of banks, I know bank tellers, I got a couple friends who worked at the banks and they would be like, it's a good idea. And I'd be like, I bet it is for y'all. Because the bank is borrowing your money at probably a fee to you to sell it to somebody else while telling the world that they don't trust you. So here's the thing. When I say, and this is the scenario I often give people, and y'all provide your feedback and let me know how you feel. You're with your significant other, and y'all been together for a minute. Whatever. Your significant, you get into a car accident because you were texting while driving. I know, terrible, right? And you know it's your fault. And your significant other has 5 cars, and you say, well, babe, my car's in the shop. I did have insurance. Insurance is gonna pay for it. But I didn't have, the stuff to do a car. And so while my car is in the shop, um, can I drive one of your cars? And they said, absolutely you can. But this car is worth $5,000, so I'm gonna need you to put, $5,000 in the bank. Now, while you're driving my car, you're also going to be responsible for the gas, the maintenance, and the insurance. Is Bay still Bay? At the end of that, is Bay still Bay? So if Bay not still Bay not still Bay because Bay didn't trust you, right? But you'll let your bank do it to you. I'm just saying. They don't trust you. And at least between what you do between you and babe is between the two of y'all. You do this stuff and then it shows up on your credit report. And every time a lender looks at your credit, they're like, oh, you have a revolving account. Oh, you had to pay for it in advance. Oh, okay. Oh, you have a credit card. Oh, you had to pay for that credit card in advance. Yeah, don't trust her because anytime Capital One tells you need to put $300 down up front and they'll take people who owe them money back again, everybody's like, well, why you gotta pay up front? Well, what made your credit so bad that you had to do it? So the thing is, fix the problem so you can qualify for unsecured credit. Simple as that. Because there's a lot of people who will approve you for unsecured credit. So the fact that you have to pay in advance means something's wrong, and you just need to take care of that instead of trying to add more credit instead of paying the bill. I had told someone almost the same thing. See, it's true. Y'all, it's the thing. It's like getting the babe, my babe is acting up, but before I let my babe go, I'm going to get a new bag. That's always a bad idea because they're going to show up at the wrong time. Or one of them gonna send you flowers, and the other one gonna see it and be like, "Who this from?" Or they come knocking at your door, or they don't think it's over because you done broke up with him and you out on a date and he tapping at your window, and your new dude is like, I thought you were single," and you gotta explain that we broke up, and he like, "Babe, it's only been 2 days," and he like, "But you've been dating me for 3 weeks." You're just setting yourself up for future problems. So just don't do that. Don't juggle. Don't do that. Take care of your past. Put your past behind you completely and then move forward. Are there any other ways to increase your credit limit besides asking creditors to avoid hard pulls? If you pay your bills off, they will typically do it for you. So if you keep your balances 0 to 6%, use it, pay it, they kind of will do what's called an account review and raise your limits for you. Unless you've had those cards for a long time. If you did, sometimes they're just done. And then it's time to go ahead and look at a different person. So those are the two sides of it, Jay. I know you asked, and I'll put that question up there if I can get to it. I'll be having some issues. So sometimes it's done. And so creditors internally have limits that they don't really go above. And once you kind of peaked for that card, it might be time to get something different. I know, for example, if you have a secured card through Redstone, they're never going to convert it to an unsecured card. I don't care what they told you, they don't do that. You actually have to apply for an unsecured card. So the only way to increase your limit on your secured credit card is to give them some more money to hold. So nobody wants to do that. So, but use your credit cards like debit cards. Sometimes what I'll do if I want to see, depending on my card, I have a couple of them that'll, respond to me. Like Discover responds to what you do. So I wanted to increase my Discover card a couple months back. So I really ran up a tab. Like I spent like $5,000 and then paid it off, and then spent like $4,000 and then paid it off, and then spent like $3,000 and paid it off. And it was like, let me up her limit because she's doing a lot and then having to pay this thing off. And they upped my limit. But that's like a kind of forced thing. But you have to have the credit profile and income to support those decisions. But if you're letting money hold around and you're maintaining and carrying a balance, which means you're not paying it off every month, the likelihood of them increasing your limit is low. Especially if you have other negative or derogatory information, they're more likely to decrease your limit than increase it. So you have to be really strategic and have the profile to support those um, outlandish decisions. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody. If y'all have more questions, go ahead and post them. Because if I don't see questions, y'all know I like to jump out of here and go. In my head, I want to go take a nap, but in reality, I'm going to have to do some more work. But like in my brain, I kind of want to go take a nap. It's been a long week. And today is my first day here. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to make sure that I answered all the credit questions. If you have an AU on your credit report, how long should they stay on? They'll report for up to 10 years from the date of last activity, or 7 years from the date of first delinquency in which the account isn't brought back current. So if you're, let's just say you went and got an authorized user and you're on your mama's credit card and she's trying to help you do what's called piggybacking until you can improve your credit and get your own. Usually after 45 days, pending you don't have anything negative on your credit, and the utilization and history of the authorized user account is great, you should be able to get your own credit card. Typically, if I do that, it depends on the card, how long they need to sit on there before I remove them. I put somebody on my credit card a couple years ago. They're still there. Because this isn't, it's really not something you should be doing a lot. Like, keep in mind, if you add somebody as an authorized user, you're responsible for any charges that they make. So, I mean, how many people do you trust like that? Now, somebody says, if you drop them, does that hurt your credit? Nothing that you do as the card holder, as the primary, will be impacted by what the authorized user does. If they use the money, you're responsible for that. But their credit doesn't impact your credit. But this account impacts their credit. So that's the benefit and the purpose of it. I was just looking up some information on piggybacking. Now, here's the thing. If you're trying to sell these authorized users, creditors know that. And they will shut you down and cancel your account because you're trying to help all of these people out doing piggybacking. So, I mean, just know you out here trying to sell, I'm going to make a little side hustle and I'm going to sell. Since I done had this card for a little while, I'm going to add people and I'm going to charge them a fee. And then all of a sudden your credit card gets shut down. They'll do it. They've done it. I've had friends they did it too. And they were salty because they had these cards for years. So you kind of got to know what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, you'll be out there messing up your credit and other people's. I remember I had this person, and I was telling them about the authorized user program and how they should do it. And I said, but you need to do all of, oh, he's great. He has great credit. She went and had this guy friend of hers add him to 3 cards. All 3 of them had late payment and poor history. And then she had to come back to me to fix her credit, to then go do an authorized user with somebody who was respectable. Know what you're doing before you get into it. And if you don't know what you're doing, don't do that from them people. Everybody ain't trustworthy and everybody ain't able. Just because they said they fixed credit and they said the HIPAA law means that they can't report medical bills, first of all, that's a sign that they don't know what they're talking about. But more importantly, because the HIPAA law does not mean that you can't report medical bills. I just want to do that. One day I'm going to do a TikTok about how I'm going to just do a review, like one of those blind things where you're blind listening, and I'm going to be sitting over there like, that's not true. That's a lie. That's wrong. Y'all, I have seen this person have 40,000 TikTok fans out there telling wrong information. Just all wrong. Just wrong. And with wasn't no right in them. But people give out information. So I say that to say, make sure you're looking at your source. Consider the source. Consider where they got this information for. Ask questions. Y'all know I don't know half of y'all. Y'all come on these lives, ask me questions, and I spit back answers because I am trained on this. This is what I do, and I don't do anything else. Is it true that it's illegal to report medical bills? No, that's a whole lie. Like, think about this. Healthcare is like one of the biggest things in the country. And you think they finna make a law that says that you can't collect their money? They made a whole thing to make sure y'all couldn't get universal health care and everybody get covered. And you think they finna not be able to collect? It's a whole scam out here. I'm sorry, scam is not the word. It's a whole system out here dedicated to getting to the money. They are not finna say in no way, shape, form, or fashion that I can't collect these bills. That's not what we do. Follow the money. What the HIPAA law says, and this is the part that people mess up. The law says that people cannot have access to your medical records without the proper, that only certain people can have it. So every Joe Blow can't look at your personal account because they want to protect your privacy, which makes sense, right? Okay. the same way in credit there's permissible purpose, they have the same standards for HIPAA. And what HIPAA says is they have to have a relationship. Okay? So your debt collector has a relationship, has a business relationship with the business they're collecting debt for. Therefore, they are able to retrieve the documents to validate the debt. And in being able to validate the debt, they can therefore, according to the Fair Debt Collection Purposes, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, collect the debt. So debts have, when someone tries to collect, there is a period, it's called a 1692G letter, where they can actually, it's in the first 30 days, where they can dispute the debt and request validation. So what people say is because it's a medical bill that the debt collector can't collect on it because they can't validate the debt. They can validate the debt because all they have to go back because they have a business relationship and could get the information. Now, what they cannot do is report on your credit report exactly what kind of medical debt it is. So they can't report on their hysterectomy debt. It'll say medical bill. If the name of the company is Abortions Are Us, they can't report that because then everybody would know, medically speaking, you got an abortion. So they'll say Franklin Collections collecting on a medical debt. That way they don't say it's an abortion. But they're absolutely coming to get their money because they're not going to do anything other than get the money because they're about getting money. That's the whole purpose of them. So that's the long and the short of that. And one day I'm gonna do a whole what HIPAA means and doesn't mean thing. And I'm gonna bring in a nurse. Oh, what if I got Nurse Kimmy? I'm gonna see if we can bring Nurse Kimmy in on that. Cause it's hilarious to me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't like bad information. And the reason Talk to Me Tuesday is out here is because there's so much bad information. And I got tired of sitting in groups and fighting with people about it. So I just came here on Tuesdays. I was like, man, every Tuesday I'm gonna go live and tell people about what you actually really can do and not, lie to y'all. So I kind of picked Tuesdays to not lie to people and talk to the world about credit. So in summation, I appreciate you all for watching and joining in for this week's edition of Talk to Me Tuesday, where we were answering credit questions live. I know it was all over the place for people who go back and watch it later, but that's what happens in live. I just answer your burning questions. And I love it. If you have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, please feel free to inbox Credit One USA and suggest it. I talk about the things y'all care about. That's how I get my topics. And I want to make sure that I'm talking about the things that you guys care about. So there's that. Awesome. Rona flu, virus, outbreak, death, dismemberment, blah, 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 all of that crazy stuff. Do whatever you got to do to protect yourself. Wear your face mask, wash your hands, use your hand sanitizer, practice social distancing, get your shots, get your boosters. Get your apartment all by yourself and grow your own food and then never have to deal with people again. However you do it, just make sure you stay safe. So in the meantime, and until next week when we talk again, I want you guys to stay safe and protect yourselves and each other. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here with Credit One USA, sponsored by the 750 Score Challenge. Talk to Me Tuesday. I'll see you guys next Tuesday right here at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So long for now. I'm gonna be out of here. I want a nap so bad, y'all. Okay. Anywho, thank you. Yes, I really want to end the broadcast.